Hello, I'm back in Berimond and I'm going to do a little bit of attacking with the smaller account. So this is the go to the front target, and what I do is I attack on the third wave. It is great to be able to have the fourth wave to fill in melee troops. Unfortunately, levels 50 and under only have 3 waves to send with. Get that fourth wave at level 51. So what I did is I brought over, in this case, all wooden tools, because I'm not going to have to worry about it being a high range percent or high wall, high gate. It's always going to be the 100% range, 60% wall, 60% gate. So I'm going to do autofill wave 3, and then I'm going to fill in what are called martyr waves. It's one cheap troop. In this case, they're the hired troops. And then it defaults to melee most of the time on that third wave. And I'm just going to go over to ranged and change it to that. And fill in this fourth wave with the melee troops. Now it filled in the 20 mantlets to cover 100% and 2 ladders, which my commander has a 40% wall, so it actually already adjusted for that. And I'm not sure if it does it all the time, but the great thing about this method and in Berimond is that a lot of times the system lags horribly while in Berimond, so it will jump right to that tool, so that way it can be adjusted without the delay of trying to scroll. So then I do that on all 3 walls. And another thing, when I bring over troops, I try to keep it to one type of troop, so that way I'm not having to scroll within the troops to get down to the hired troops. And then this is going to have these guys. And over here. And this one. And then I'm going to put that in there. And I don't have a whole bunch of troops here right now, but I can send one full attack. When I am fully loaded with troops, fully upgraded headquarters, and constantly bringing them in and running feasts so they recruit or hire very fast. I'm going to speed this attack up just so, well, it doesn't really speed up very much. I'm just going to let it go. And then a couple other little tasks that I do is when I'm hitting multiple towers in Berimond, what I do is I scroll to where it has the other lines of towers, because otherwise it's not, go to the front is only going to pick that one that is farthest up. And I'm going to follow it back to where it can be attacked at. And this is almost ready to be on fire. So the one I'm going to bookmark is going to be this next one, a little bit longer term. And I'm going to bookmark, and I'm just going to have this be middle. I think it's middle. And then scroll to wherever this other line is and bookmark one on there. So pretty much I can send multiple attacks, like a little train, on the towers, as long as the next attack will land after my first attack returns back home. And having the other 2 lines active for attacks, I can send on those, or having the other 2 lines, I can send on those and pretty much have the attacks staggered to where I can, when I have enough troops, launch on that front, go to the front line again and have the time difference be enough that it can make it through. So then I'm just going to go to bookmarks. Sometimes I put them as a hostile target when I have a lot of bookmarks. I don't have any here, but that way I keep that list a little bit cleaner. And so I can go to the middle and do, I have to go back because that one's not ready quite yet, but I don't have to scroll very far. And I can just follow that line and attack. So I have this commander here as my second one, has good ranged, not so great melee, horrible courtyard. And I'm going to take a look at that in a second. This next one has pretty good attack for this level 51 account and nice courtyard. And it would actually cover the full wall. I would have to send tools for the gate when attacking on the third wave method. So I'm going to take a look at my equipment real quick. And the thing about this guy here that had that pretty good attack and nice courtyard is that the hero is pretty useless for this target because it is only good on main castles, kingdom castles, and foreign castles. So I'm going to go and try to pick something that is one of these NPC guys, and I'm going to shoot for either ranged attack or courtyard. So this has a 10% ranged attack. That one's melee. Let me see what these guys have. Castle Lords, Moat. And so none of these other ones are really good. This one is just going to be bringing back more loot or those kind of things. So this is probably my best bet. The negative thing on here doesn't even apply to the target I'm going for because it's against Castle Lords. So has the plus without really being affected by the negative. So I'm going to switch that to that. And the gem icon has gotten a lot smaller, but all of these pieces have the gem on them. So take a look on this guy here. Now it has that 80-80 and then an extra 10% on the ranged and that 39% courtyard. So I'm pretty happy with that commander with what I have available. And I don't know if there's much what I can do on this except for notice, if you can, with this little tiny icon, that this is the only item that I have a gem on. These other ones do not yet have a gem on them. This is the reward equipment from the long-term event. I have a nice handful of them, and it doesn't have that extra little writing there. So for gems, I'm going all for pink gems, nice pink gems. And I try to have, as my equipment builds up and my available gems increase, I shoot for having the level 4 or higher gems. That's going to be a 7% courtyard each gem. If I have 4 of them, that's 28% courtyard. It's nice to have better, but work with what you got. And I actually have a couple of the 12% ones here. My attack land, I'm just going to hit OK, 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 OK. And this one will be, I'll put the 8% on there because the armor, I'm actually, it's a melee, more of a melee one. So when I mix up sets, I'm less likely to use it. And I only have 2 of those 12% gems. And I'm going to put this on weapon. Like, I don't want to waste a really nice gem on something that isn't such a great piece. Like, that is kind of okay, but not so great. And so now I'm looking at the 27% courtyard, and I can still add a 3rd gem or a 4th gem. The 80% ranged and only 30% melee. And I really don't have much to work with here without taking away from what ranged I have. I try to have range as high as I can, use that in nomads, but I have to have some melee bonus because those melee troops fight in the courtyard. That's a big part of the battle. So that's a little bit on some of what I do, and let me Find a place to put that. And that is it for right now.